Gone to the East Coast, they said. It'd be fun, they said.
Hey everybody!
What's going on?
This week we went to the East Coast for my first ever 50-miler.
We're gonna take you on a tour of kind of what we did, what it looked like, what we thought, and everything in between.
Then we can talk about how it went.
So what are you doing today?
I'm going to do, I was gonna do mile repeats around this loop, fairground type loop, but we did it and it's not close to a mile. So I'm gonna do 1K repeats. I'm not gonna worry about time because as you can tell it's super windy. And then I'll just do a jog recovery. Do that 10 times, hoping that I don't freeze to death. I was gonna take advantage of sea level while we were there. So I had a workout. Fun fact is where we were staying, there weren't a lot of places to run.
Especially fast.
Yeah.
Because with her getting ready for CIM, we were looking at like, okay, let's find a spot that's flat, smooth, easy, and fast so you can do a fast workout. We're down at sea level, let's do something fast.
So I had hopes on the Strava heat maps. There was only one place where the Strava heat map was strong. And, you know, the workout happened. It was still a run. It was still at sea level. And yeah, it was challenging in all of its unique ways.
My pre-race run is done. I only had to run I did Tabor's warm-up, so we did 3 miles and I did a couple strides. Now I'm just gonna be sitting on my butt the rest of the day, kind of just hanging out. Woo! You know, the weather's supposed to be nicer tomorrow, but this would make it interesting, that's for sure. It's blowing wind and spitting snow. It's pretty cold. I don't know, would I race in a jacket? It'd be weird. How was that?
I'm a little windblown. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't like the best. It was just a workout. And I did it, and I'm proud of myself for doing it. Because I was super unmotivated to do this workout. And yeah, it's hard when you're by yourself and it's cold, but I got the work done, and now we get to go get some coffee. You got there.
The perfect pre-race meal.
Who are you? What are you doing? And where are you?
I'm just Eli. I'm just gonna run a little bit. Now, okay, so we are...
Wait, would you grab your number for me and hold it up like a school kid on your first day of school? Aww!
It's me.
It is you. Lucky number 14.
It doesn't say my name. Okay.
Okay, what do we got? What are we doing?
Okay, so we're getting ready for my first 50-mile race at JFK. This is the oldest ultramarathon in the US, in the world. I don't know. It's old. It's like 62 years old. But it's a bit different where we are going to be doing a shoe swap. It's the first order of business. So if you can't tell, I got bungee laces on both my shoes.
The triathlete's really showing.
I'm going full triathlon around this. And my goal, we're gonna time it. I'm gonna have Tabor record it so she can time it. I'm calling it right now. Sub 8 seconds on the shoe swap.
It's bold of you.
Yep, sub 8 seconds. Okay, but then we're doing, figuring out all our food. So come with me. Because we are, what, 12 hours out? Not even?
Yep.
About 10 hours out?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically I have a buttload of sugar everywhere. Pre-race sugar, of course. We're gonna start with a bottle of drink mix to start the day, and about 10 minutes before the race, take some caffeine, a little bit more carbs, just so that I start off on a good note. Then carrying for the first first block to the first aid station is quite a bit, or first crewable aid station is quite a bit. So I'll have to carry hour 45, 2 hours worth of stuff. And I'm trying to do about 120 grams of carb an hour. So that means I'm prepared for about 2 hours right here. This is my just in casey, a little bit extra. But I have 2 90-gram gels and 2 30-gram of carb, 500 milligram of sodium drink for that first 2 hours, well, hour 50. And then pretty much every hour after that, I'm planning on just taking a bottle drink mix, 90-gram gel, every hour after that, mixed in with a few caffeine gels whenever it feels necessary. And while I was doing that, what are you up to?
Well, I have a good note sheet that I've shared with you and you have shared with me, but it talks about where I'm meeting you, what the distance is in the race, what you want me to hand you, and then I will have a running clock of the course record time, just so like I can tell you how far you are ahead or how far you are behind, and get your ass moving or keep pushing on the throttle. So yeah, I'm logistics woman tomorrow, so I will be cheering, driving, crewing, and really trying not to mess up my job, because if I mess up my job, I mess up Eli's job, and then we go home kind of sad. So the whole race actually rides on me and my ability to do my job. See, full circle.
Make sure that I can make some money tomorrow.
If you make money, I make money.
Yeah.
It's a win-win.
So you better not mess it up.
Win. No, I'm getting nervous. I wasn't supposed to get nervous this weekend. I get nervous in like 2 weekends. And you don't even have to do anything for my weekend.
So JFK is basically the first 15 miles are on kind of classic East Coast. I'm not gonna call them like super technical. It's just kind of like that annoying rocks that kind of you're gonna turn your ankle. It wasn't overly technical. It was still, we were running pretty fast. And then you hop after 15 miles, basically just hop on this pancake flat, smooth gravel, and you're just running on that until the final 8 miles where it's on the road. And
it's kind of rolling on the road, correct?
Yeah, and the road is rolling, but the whole 50 miles has like 3,000 feet of elevation. So it's really not, it's just about as flat as you could get.
Are you still happy with your decision?
Semi-content. I think I'm excited to actually get going. Then I can finish and take a nap, but then we're good, you know? How many layers are you wearing?
Well, I have my sports bra, and then I have a long sleeve, a jacket, a puffy jacket, and a rain/wind jacket.
She's gonna be warm.
It's so cold.
A lot of people standing around. This is a race, we're running.
Runners.
Gotta get running, warming up.
That explains why
Eli Hemming, this will be his 50-mile debut. We know him well for fast, mountainous 50Ks, most recently taking a pretty historic win at the OCC race, second annual JFK 50-miler, and they are off. Woo.
Okay, so I watched Eli start, and then I jumped in the car, and I drove to the first aid station, which is a little over 15 miles, and it's called Weaverton Cliffs. So I'm parked. I have Eli's shoes that he's going to change into, and then also the nutrition that he's going to grab from me, and you have to walk down to where the aid station is from the road. So I'm packed up, and I'm going to walk down there and get ready to cheer him on and give him his stuff.
Sub 8 seconds.
Okay, so we did the first aid station. He came through very smooth, looked good. David Sinclair was down the trail first onto the pavement. He was second, just right behind. Yeah, did a quick shoe change. I think it took him all of like 5 seconds. And then we saw him off. Looked good, looked controlled. And now I'm at the second aid station. And he should be coming through here in the next, I don't know, 20 minutes. We'll see how he feels then. That is what Eli gets to run on.
And when Hayden Hawks ran his course record, but not as fast as the fastest splits ever.
Okay, so I didn't want to mess up the bottle handoff at the second aid station, so I didn't get any footage of actually handing the bottle off to Eli. It was quick. He ran by. No words were exchanged. He was in serious mood. So yeah, now I'm at the third and my final crewing spot. I'm gonna give him one more bottle and one more 90 gel. When I saw him, he and David Sinclair were together, so it'll be exciting to see what's happened over the course of this next 11-ish miles.
I blew up so much at the end that like I wasn't hammering the whole way.
You know, sometimes you just gotta saddle up and shuffle it out.
Prior to this year it was 6. We had 11 this year.
Yeah. So I drove the car and I dropped Eli off at Boonesboro, which was the start. And then I met him at the 3 aid stations that you could crew. And he went from then Boonesboro all the way to Williamsport High School. And that's where I saw him at the finish.
Yes, I guess I'll just give you guys a little bit of a play-by-play on how the first 50-miler went. Not awesome. It was fine. Like I think I've made some great mistakes and had some great learning from that. But overall, like I started off running really well. My body felt really nice. Like the paces all felt super easy. It was super casual.
Shoe change went nice.
The shoe change went very nice. I was under my 8-second prediction.
Your mom was proud of you.
Coach Mom was very proud of me. My mom was my triathlon coach for my first 18 years of life. So she was very proud that some of her teaching sunk in. But yeah, so really everything was going pretty smoothly. I had a little bit of some stomach upset on the first 15 miles, but I didn't really think a whole lot of it. But then we got on the rail trail, and I think my fueling strategy was much better meant for mountainous terrain, where you're going very slow, because I was going very fast and my stomach was just jumbling all around.
And what's very fast?
So we got on the rail trail, and I looked at the course record, and it was the rail trail the creek path, whatever. The average was like 5:56 per mile, so just under 6-minute pace. And I was like, I can go way faster than that. So my thought was I was going to get on there, and that's where I was going to make up my time. I didn't want to make up time on the Appalachian Trail. I figured that's more of a danger than anything. I figured if I get to the rail trail,
and there had been snow the night before on there as well.
Yeah, I figured if I get to the path in good standing of within 3-4 minutes of Hayden's time, I figured I can easily make that up on the path. And so I was running kind of 5:40 to 5:45 pace. And I did that for about 20 miles.
And you had David Sinclair, which was really awesome.
Yeah, I ran with David Sinclair. He ran immediately behind me the whole path. And I don't really
drafting, baby.
Yeah, no, I don't really care. I don't think I get a huge benefit from him running slightly in front of me, but it was kind of funny. I got a lot of comments why'd you let him do that? Because that was my pace. I was choosing the pace.
Yeah, so I saw you then at mile 27, and
I don't know, you seem good to me.
I was great. I was still fine at that time. I wasn't great. My stomach was turning for the worse and everything was kind of going bad downhill. I was still running fine though at the time, and then
And what happened between 27 and when you saw me again at like 38? The rumbling began.
Eli had a bad tum-tum. Basically, everything just came out in both directions, and it was just, my stomach was very upset, and then I was kind of just trying to recoup. I was still running like 6-minute pace. I was just like, all right, if I slow down a little bit, it'll be fine. Like, let it happen, throw up for like 10 miles or so, and then I'll be out. And just, it never really got a whole lot better. So kind of got to 38 and I was like, okay, well, the course record's a little bit gone from me right now. And
the wind's gone.
The wind is very gone.
You walked for a minute with me.
I walked for a minute and I was like, all right.
Puke and rally.
Puke and rally. Sometimes you gotta put the ego aside and you're like, all right, I'm gonna finish the race. Like, I knew it wasn't gonna be a great day for me, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna shuffle it in and get to the finish line, because it was my first 50 miler.
And like, you took advantage of the awesome race organizers putting porta potties in so many spots on the last 8 miles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They put porta potties there just for me. It was delightful.
Yeah, they were
fresh and clean, because I still finished up 5th on the day, which pretty happy with still finishing in the top 5. Obviously it's nowhere near the time I wanted, and I think that just means I do have to go back. Probably not next year, but I will be back, and I think that record can go down even further. I think I can hold quite a bit quicker there, and I know some spots that times can be made.
So what are you gonna do differently then?
I think
if you screwed up fueling, was it too much for the effort? And if it was, what would you have done differently? Or would you do anything differently?
It was definitely too much for the effort at that time. I think I would say this training block, going back to kind of how we were doing our little bit of a review on our last video, one of the things that I kind of thought back even further, like, oh yeah, I didn't do that great of a job of actually training my gut. Like, and so for me to go out there and say, oh yeah, I can average 120 grams of carb an hour running that quickly, I earned what I got. Like, I deserved that. So it was kind of just I definitely couldn't handle that much, and I should have just kind of cooled it a little bit. But I do think just going forward, do the little things correctly, and I think that this block wasn't necessarily that. Next block will be doing things correctly, and that is one of those things that I do have to... Yes, with intention.
But overall, I think it was awesome for you to get a long distance race underneath your belt, to see if you liked it or not. Yeah, just, I think it was a good learning experience, and getting to see like what you thought of it, I think was really good.
Yeah, and you know, my favorite comment that I got from anybody was from Danny Marino. It said, hey, it's better to end on a bad note, because then you're hungry for next year.
I think that's where we should leave it. I'm balancing.
What kind of person gets a salad at Chick-fil-A?
I also got fried and whatever they fucking want.